Is Facebook about to make it even more difficult to advertise on their platform? If you're an agent or an investor and you're running Facebook ads to look for motivated sellers, then you need to pay attention to this message. There's some really big changes coming down the pipeline with Facebook ads, and so I brought on my friends Kylie and JT from Silver Street Marketing to share with you what's going on and 3 things you need to do to make sure you're not caught off guard when these changes come. How's it going, Kylie, JT?
Awesome. Thanks, Brady. We're super excited to be here. Something we're really passionate about, of course, and excited to dig in and talk about how what these changes are and how they're going to impact anyone that's running Facebook ads for motivated sellers, and also what people can do to make sure they're taking advantage and working through this change. So Facebook is making some big changes, and this is all part of an agreement and a settlement that they've had with the Department of Housing and Urban Development, the HUD. A while back, there were some issues and some complaints about whether people were using the data inside of Facebook to run ads in a way that was fair and equitable. So long story short, there's a lot of information on that. If you want to go look into that, you can certainly do that. But the outcome of that is that Facebook is sunsetting or discontinuing the special ad audiences for real estate. They're also doing it for employment and credit ads, but specifically the way it impacts all of us is they're getting rid of it for real estate ads. So special ad audiences, if you're not familiar with what that is another term for what we call lookalike audiences. And a lookalike audience is when you take data that you have. So let's say you have a list of probate leads. You can load that data into Facebook and you can target that data directly on Facebook. It's part of why Facebook is an awesome marketing platform. And then the thing you could also do is you could give that data to Facebook, and Facebook would analyze it, find similarities across all those people, and it would create new audiences, lookalike audiences, of people who had similar criteria to what was on your custom list. And you could build these lookalike audiences from a lot of different sources, whether it was your custom lists that you uploaded or your website traffic, video views, etc. Back a little while back, when Facebook created special ad categories, they changed the name of these audiences to special ad audiences, and those are what is going away. So as of right now, Facebook has already restricted any new ad creation using a special ad audience. And as of October 12th, any ads that are running using a special ad audience will pause until you make some changes. So that's what's happening. And here's why it's a big deal. So special ad audiences are a powerful way to target and find potential motivated sellers. So we typically, as we're running ads, we have, and we can get into this in a little more detail, but we have some top of funnel traffic, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel based on awareness and motivation. And those lookalike audiences were an important piece of the middle of the funnel. So with those going away, it's important that anyone that is running ads or thinking about running ads is aware. Because if you have ads running now and you do nothing, those ads will pause and they'll just sit there until you make some changes. But the exciting thing is we have worked through a lot of Facebook changes in the past. I've been around marketing on Facebook since like 2007, 2008. I've seen some massive changes that Facebook has made to algorithms and pixels and tracking. And it's exciting because anytime that happens, there's a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah, I'd like to second what Kylie said. The biggest thing to focus on right now is there's opportunity. Opportunity to get more leads and to get more deals. The only thing that's changing is how we're going to strategically implement it. So once you understand how to strategically implement your marketing now on Facebook, you're going to be able to be ahead of the curve and you're going to start to see better results. And in the past, Kylie and I could both say that we've seen better results over time as you start to understand it than there were before they made these changes, before they made restrictions, before they made it harder to market. And a lot of that is just due to competition dropping as well as you starting to understand your marketing better. One of the biggest things I think we kind of get in the thought is that Facebook is our marketing entirely, but it's really not. Facebook is the platform. It's a platform that allows us to communicate our marketing. So when we have good marketing will always prevail. It will always do well. It's just understanding how to strategically implement that, how to strategically communicate that to the motivated seller leads that we know are out there, and how to present our solution to them. So that's really what we want to cover today and kind of help you guys understand so you can make sure you're strategically in the place that you need to be.
Yeah, awesome. I think, if you boil marketing down to kind of its most basic principles, it's delivering the right message to the right people at the right time and in the right place as well. And like JT was saying, like the core principles of good marketing always prevail, even if the delivery method changes. And especially in the digital marketing world, like those delivery methods will change. And it doesn't matter whether you're doing PPC or SEO or anything else, like these tech platforms like Google might do an update on their SEO, and if you're optimizing for SEO, you might have to make some changes. So, but the principles of good marketing always prevail and allow you to get in front of the right people at the right time with the right message.
So for today, to understand a little bit better of what your good marketing or your good strategy should be, there's a couple things that you'll need to start to focus on that will become even more important as these changes are occurring. One that Kylie kind of outlined already is make sure that we're looking at our special ad audiences and start taking them out of your account. If you don't already have special ad audiences in there, Facebook won't let you make them any longer, so you don't have to worry about that. But the first piece is if you do have special ad audiences, they need to be out by October 11th, or Facebook's going to automatically start shutting down ads. So that's going to be kind of the date on the calendar that you have to circle and say, hey, I need to make sure all my ads are updated by then, or I know my account is going to get restricted, and then you're going to have to go through the entire Facebook mess of trying to get a hold of somebody to accept your account again and get it back in good standing, which can take a lot of hard work. So make sure to put that calendar or that date on the calendar and be aware of it. So that's the first step to get moving in this direction.
Yeah, I was just going to add to that. It would be better if you're running ads and you're not going to make the necessary changes. It would be better that you pause your ads until you're ready to make those changes. Like JT said, trying to continue to run those ads could potentially end with some long troubleshooting you may have to deal with Facebook. So either get those changes made. That's the best outcome. Or two would be to pause the ads until you're ready to make those changes.
Awesome. Once you have all that together, we're going to have a second step for you. And that second step is you need to start to understand that testing is going to be even more important in your accounts now than it ever has been before. So it will require you to spend more time inside of Facebook, but with the right direction, you guys can make this a little bit more simple and easy for you to make sure that you get the best results possible. And that first piece of testing we're going to be looking at is looking at testing how much budget allocation needs to occur for our top of funnel and our middle funnel strategies. To give you some context here, for most ad strategies we run, we're focusing on a top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom of funnel. And what that means is we have a cold audience on the top that is kind of our broad prospecting audiences. We have our middle funnel, which is going to be our warmer audiences. This is where we kind of narrow down what type of people we're targeting. And then we're going to have our bottom of funnel, which is going to be our hot, which is more of like our retargeting. People who've already engaged with us in some way or form, whether it's on our website or with ads previously. So with this new method, we need to be more focused on testing our budget allocation throughout the entire process across all three of those campaigns, but primarily in the beginning across our top of funnel and middle of funnel. That's going to allow us to understand where our money is being best spent and what's giving us the best results. A key to testing this isn't going to be just your Facebook KPIs. Most people are just going to focus on cost per lead and cost per click, reach per impression. They're going to focus on those metrics, which are good metrics. But what's more important for real estate investors is going to be motivation. So understanding how to use your UTM parameters inside of Facebook, which will track where each lead is coming from and report on your Carrot site what ad, what campaign, what media type, so that you know exactly what's generating the best motivation is going to be really important. And that's going to help you allocate your budget efficiently and get the best leads coming in from Facebook instead of just putting all your money towards something like the broad prospecting that's just going to bring in lots of stuff. So we want to make sure we test those to ensure that we're getting not only the right cost per lead, but also we're getting the right motivation from Facebook. We are going to have follow-up testing that you're going to need to be focused on. Some other parts of testing that you're going to want to keep your eye on is going to be your media types. Since we're essentially, what this change is doing is it's causing our audiences in our middle funnel to be a little bit larger than what they used to be. So what we have to do now is we have to test a little bit more efficiently so we can narrow down our audiences better. So we're going to be using our media and our copy as a funnel to be able to get to the most motivation possible.
And JT, I had a conversation just the other day with a really established, successful investor, and they were talking about how they were running Facebook ads and they wanted to get more leads. They felt like they weren't getting enough leads. So they went into their ad copy and they changed the ad copy to be really sort of generic and broad. I don't know what the exact copy was, but it was something along the lines of, hey, how much is your house worth? Find out how much you could sell your house for. And it worked. It generated a lot of leads and interest. The challenge was it generated a lot of leads that were not in the right bucket. They weren't really interested. They weren't really motivated. And they weren't even necessarily like, there's a spectrum of motivation and there's a spectrum of readiness. So you, for example, someone who has just inherited a home might be early on in their process of understanding, like, what options do I have to sell this house? Whereas someone who is actively talking to a couple investors is much deeper in that funnel, right? Well, they were finding people that weren't even in that funnel. Like, it was just people who were just curious what their house was worth. And so it was a really good example of what you're talking about here, which is the power of the ad image and the ad copy. That's the text that goes on the ad to further refine your audience. So if you're using copy that's too broad, you're going to pull a very broad lead. If you're using more specific copy about specifically what you do and what you want to buy, which is, you buy homes with cash that are distressed, in need of major repair, that are behind on taxes, whatever it might be, the ad is actually serving the role of further refining that audience.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's a story we really hear a lot. So it just proves the importance that you make sure that we're using those things together. So you're going to be testing them to see which ones bring in the most motivation, as well as which one brings in the best leads in terms of cost. And then we're going to work on those together. I always kind of tell investors, it doesn't matter if you have 100 leads or 10 leads. If you don't close a lead, it was a waste of time and it was a waste of money, right? So you want to make sure you get the most motivated leads. And that's what we're doing in this process. And that's what's going to help us have marketing that's effective. Once we figure those out, and we're testing a lot on this, it's going to be very crucial for this last step to start using more frequent media changes inside the account. And part of that is just going to be due to frequency levels. Facebook is always monitoring your frequency levels. As we have changes to our audiences, frequency levels can kind of go off.
And maybe JT, just pause for 1 second, just in case anyone doesn't know what a frequency level is. Basically, what the frequency is, how often people are seeing that same ad. And Facebook monitors that because if the same people are seeing the same ad too frequently, that decreases their experience on Facebook, which Facebook doesn't like. It actually decreases your ad performance too. And so that's what JT is talking about, is keeping an eye on those frequency levels, or how many times people are seeing the same ad. So if you just put one ad in, put your ads on autopilot and go, over time that frequency level is really going to get high, which is going to decrease your deliverability and your efficiency of the ad.
Exactly. So it's going to become even more important to be able to use multiple pieces of media working together to help you get to the best results. So even though you're testing to see what type of media works best, once you figure it out, now you need to start to bring more of that same media. So you're going to be testing different versions of that ad. You're going to be using different types of, let's say you have a picture of a house and you have a little sign that goes across, say, we buy houses for cash. Now you're going to want to be testing maybe a different house in the background because you know that style works. Maybe we're going to be testing a little bit different of a word instead of we buy houses with cash. We buy houses fast, right? So we're going to be testing these different media types against each other and just adding more of what's working to be able to lower that frequency level so that the algorithm that Facebook has favors our ads and we start to see better and better results over time. And that's what's going to really help your ad accounts throughout these massive shifts of changing up what audiences we can use.
So in summary, there are some pretty big changes coming down the pipeline with Facebook. And as those changes occur, good principles of great marketing will continue to prevail. If you take the things that we've outlined here on this call together, you can make the right changes and continue to get great, fantastic results on Facebook. I think we're going to see a window of opportunity here where many people are going to struggle. They're not going to be paying attention, or they're not going to know what to do. So if you invest a little bit of time to make these changes, I think you'll recognize a cool window of opportunity. And I think really important to take away from this as well is that Facebook will continue to be a really strong and viable marketing channel, especially when used in the context of your overall marketing strategy. Whether that be online or offline, Facebook can continue to enforce and reinforce that. Direct mail, PPC, SEO, all of it can be made stronger with a really strong Facebook strategy.
Well, Kylie, JT, thank you guys so much for sharing these updates. We appreciate it. Agents, investors, if you're watching this and you want help with your Facebook ads and you want someone to run these for you, go to carrot.com/marketplace and connect with Silver Street Marketing. So you can find Silver Street Marketing. That's Kylie and JT in the marketplace, and they can help you answer any questions and get you started with Facebook ads. Or if you want to do it yourself and you're looking for a resource to help guide you through this and you want to tackle your own Facebook ads, go to carrot.com/Facebook and you can get the free guide that Kylie and JT have helped us put together. Kylie, JT, thanks again for joining us. And agents and investors, if there's anything you need help with, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help.